Weirdo. Why is this going sideways? These dogs try to over pee themselves. And this dummy will drink the other dog's pee and then pee over it, so he makes sure he erases his existence, I think. That's rude and nasty. So here's our weed. Not that weed. With the nice buds. Not those buds. These big leaf weeds. Uh-oh, what happened? And then these things that just started to develop in the last 6 or 8 years. There'd be 1 or 2 of them, and now usually there's more than this. There's a lot more. They're already dying. So to continue with the recap, I'm making these videos, and usually I will have read the daily mass readings, the readings of the day in mass, which the church, Catholic, universal, all the churches will read the same, have the same readings each day, although there can be variations, there can be options, but they usually have the same readings in the entire world, the same ones for that particular day. So I'll read them. No, we're not going that way. I'll read those and then tell you a little something. But as sloth has overtaken me, I haven't managed to maintain my phone space, and I refuse to buy more, whatever you call it, storage. So I'm not getting my emails, which is where I usually get my daily readings. I could just look it up, which I should, but I'm on a hiatus right now. So, I became convinced, after being away from the Catholic Church for a long time, that Jesus started one church. And when I came back, I went to a, quote, Christian church, I think it was Baptist, and I heard the gospel, and I heard a good sermon, and that got me in the door. And then I started looking into this, and as a boy, whatever your parents tell you, is true. And they said that Jesus started a church, and it was the Catholic Church. And so I had no reason to not believe that. But as a man, or as an adult, we need to make our religion our own, I think. And I started researching, thinking about that, and praying, and going to this other church. And then I started going to my local Catholic church, and it became apparent to me that I didn't belong in the other church, that I belonged in the Catholic church. So I told my wife, we were all going, the kids were little, 4 or 5, and I said, we were going to one church on the Christian church Sunday morning and the Catholic church on Saturday afternoon. And I said, this is getting a little expensive, these 2 plates. Now, that's not true. But I told her, I don't belong here at this Baptist church. I belong at the Catholic church. And she said, okay, we're going with you. Which every time I recant that. That's different. Recanting and recounting is different. Every time I recount. Now I don't even know the difference. Every time I say that story, it just helps me to know how blessed I am that I have a wife who would just say, okay, we're going with you. Because we were invested in that Baptist church for about 1.5 years. I was doing a little volunteering there, and our kids were, going to the kids service there, drinking their little grape juice and eating the crackers, whatever the heck that is. But every time I say that story, and I remind myself that she said, okay, we're going with you. It was as simple as that. And because that can be complicated if you have two. If she just said, you know, I just think this Baptist thing is it, and I said, but I think the Catholic is, and I'm going to go there. That's a strain. It's a strain if you've got two faiths in your house for the kids and for yourself. So anyway, she said, okay, we're going with you. You know how they have quotes that people remember? That's a quote I remember. Okay, we're going with you. She just decided for the kids and her that she would follow me into the Catholic Church. And obviously she did her own research, and she was coming to that conclusion to begin with. But I guess she just let me figure it out on my own. Toby, come up here. There's a bee's nest down there, probably still. So anyway, that's a little recap. I try to talk about the fields and what I'm seeing and what we encounter, the fox and the wind and the flowers. And I try to talk about the readings of the day, or something inspirational, I hope, to get people to see that Jesus Christ was here 2,000 years ago, walked the planet. It seems reasonable to believe that he did things that no human could do. And I researched that. There were witnesses of this. And he left the church, and he left a group of guys with one at the lead among equals to guide his church. And so that church, historically, factually, if you look at history, is the Catholic Church. And if Jesus started it, that's the church I want to go to. That's the church that's the only logical church. The church that God started makes sense. Going to a church that some man started, Martin Luther, Wesley, Smith, Zwingli, any other church makes no sense. Because why would I go to second best? Why would I go to quadruple best, gazillion back best, when I could go to Jesus, Son of God? And that's what makes sense for me. It seems apparent that it's true, and I just want the truth. And it would seem from the evidence that Jesus rising from the dead makes him different from any other man. Martin Luther didn't rise from the dead. Muhammad didn't rise from the dead. So that works for me.